Hey folks, this is Rob with MTG Investor, and we're looking at some Dragons of Tarkir spoilers. Next card we're going to look at is Ojutai's Command. This card's getting a lot of love right now. When it debuted on the big box websites a few days ago as a pre-release, or not as a pre-release card, but as a card that's not yet released, I should say. It was about $8. It's gone down to about $6. You can get them on eBay for about $5 a pop right now. All the commands seem to be pretty dang good, and all fairly playable for the most part that I've seen. I think we've seen 3 of them: Atarkas, Ojutais, Simulgars, and a couple of them haven't been released yet. But anyway, Ojutai's command: instant, a blue, a white, and 2. Choose 2. Return target creature card with converted mana cost 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Next thing, you gain 4 life. Next thing, a counter target creature spell or draw a card. Alright, so a lot of people have been comparing this to Cryptic Command, but first I would say it's not Cryptic Command. Cryptic Command is better than this card. It is easier to cast, not being 3 blue mana, but being a blue and a white. And 2, so it is easier to cast. You also have to have the right shell for this. It's not, you can't play mono blue and play this card in mono blue. Man, I'll be honest with you, I really want to play with this card. This card has a lot of good applications. If you are playing, let's say you're playing a white-blue deck, whether it's kind of a quasi-control deck, let's say you're playing some Remands, maybe some Mana Leaks or something, maybe you are playing Cryptic Command in Modern, then the fact that you can counter a creature spell is pretty good. Creatures are pretty heavily played in a lot of the decks in Modern. It misses on some, but you can do some other interesting things with this. If you're playing a long game, this card, to me, interacts really well with Snapcaster Mage. So, return target creature card with converted mana cost 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. So somebody, you say, oh, somebody's playing a non-creature spell, which this card can't counter. You can play this card, return your Snapcaster, give something flashback, a hard counter spell, counter the spell, and then you can draw a card with this. So in essence, you are it costs you the mana for the counter spell that you're flashing back, but it turns itself into a Cryptic Command in that situation, and it gives you a creature. So, costs a little bit more mana, obviously. So, it's I don't know. I just think it would be fun to play Snapcaster with this guy. If you're playing this in Modern, Burn is a real deck in Modern and wins real tournaments. So you can gain 4 life with this. So gain 4 life, draw a card, or return that Snapcaster. What seems really cool to me is if you have enough mana, you could, and you've already played an Ojutai's Command once in a game, then you play Ojutai's Command, you flashback your Snapcaster. Your Snapcaster targets Ojutai's Command and flash it back. I mean, you'd have to have enough mana, but there just seems like a lot of really interesting and fun interactions with the card, from that perspective. So anyway, right now it's being listed as a $5 to $6 card. I think it is somewhere in the $3 to $10 range after the set's officially out. If blue white control becomes a thing, then this card seems like it would fit in there. And if it doesn't even have to go into control decks, this card is reasonable in some other form of blue-white. Whether is it Jeskai? Maybe it's Jeskai. I mean, Jeskai could use this card. I mean, it counters rhinos. For 4 mana, it's countering a rhino and drawing a card. So, in that sense, it is a Cryptic Command. Excuse me. So, short term, if you want to give me, if you want me to give you a specific price right now, I see this as a $5 card. If it starts getting a lot of play, then you could see this getting up to the $10 range. To be honest with you, and long term, man, it's hard to speculate on this until I see if it gets some action in Modern or not. But I'm looking at $4 to $15. I think somebody's going to play this in Modern either as a 1 or 2 of at some point in the next 2 years or something. So if it gets any sort of play, even if it's on and off, it's going to be at least a $4 card after it rotates out of standard. If it sees significant play in modern and has viability, I mean, look at what Cryptic Command's price. What is it, like a $60 card now, I think? And like I said, this is not Cryptic Command, but let's say it's half of Cryptic Command, and that's $30. You know, obviously the print run on Lore 1 was smaller than the print runs on card sets now, but you know, it could be a $20 card eventually. I'll have to do a follow-up after the set's out and everything's legal to play, and when I see how things are getting played and where things are being played and what formats, I can give you a more accurate projection of where this card's going to be. Anyway, it does need the right shell, so got to see where that's going to go. So anyway, this has been Rob. If you have any questions about it, put them in the comments, and or what you think this card's going to do. I'd be really curious to see what you think or how this card's going to play out. I'm really curious. Let me know if you think this card's going to be playable in Modern, because that's where the money's going to be. If this is playable in Modern, then it's eventually going to be a $20 card at least. So let me know. Give me some feedback. This has been Rob with MTG Investor. Thanks for watching and happy trading.